Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be it is going to be different from other videos that I've done in the past. I have something on my mind and I really want to talk about it. So that's what I'm here to do today. Also, disclaimer, I haven't filmed in a really long time, so if I seem nervous or awkward, that's why. It's been a few months. And other disclaimer is that I am posting this to hopefully help encourage other people that are also in my situation of your dream or your goal not really turning out how you thought it was going to. So I am aware that numbers don't matter and all of that stuff, but it is a factor. Because I do think that there are other people out there that are also in the same position that I am, and I don't really feel like people talk a lot about it. So I don't know. All of that to say, you can tell by the title of this video that I almost quit booktube, YouTube as a whole. I haven't filmed anything in like 2.5, 3 months. The intent behind the break was I was not going to return, which I have a lot of feelings about, obviously. So basically, let's start at the beginning. And the beginning was I was not really feeling super challenged at my job. I was a dental assistant at the time, and nothing was really going the way that I thought it was. I never thought that I would end up in that job, and I have always wanted to be a YouTuber. I mean, literally always. I discovered YouTube when I was like 11 or 12, and I was more on like the beauty space of YouTube, like the beauty guru thing, like Juicy Star of 7, Arden. I was there. I was there at the beginning. I was there before the whole Dramageddon James Charles thing. Like, I had been writing for that side of YouTube for a very long time. And so I have just it's always been on my mind of something that I wanted to do. And I was kind of at this point in my life where I was like, okay, I love reading. I have discovered that booktube is a thing. This is something that I want to talk to people about because I don't have anyone in my real life that reads the way that I do. And so it was a really good outlet for me to talk to people about books that I have really loved, stories that I have really loved. I loved consuming it, and long form content was always more my thing. And needless to say, it did not take off the way I thought it would. So that was 2 years ago. My editing has like drastically improved. My thumbnails have drastically improved. The way that I talk to the camera has drastically improved. Like, these are things that I'm self-aware enough to know. But this algorithm fucking sucks. I don't really know how else to say it. And about a year ago, really, when I felt like I was really getting in a groove of like posting consistently, of doing thumbnails that I actually liked, of making videos that I was really proud of, I really dove into this whole SEO situation. And let me tell you what, if you are one of those people that is about to comment on my video and be like, I'm an SEO pro, watch my content to find out why aren't people seeing your videos? Stop. I'm gonna try to dive into this SEO. What is an SEO? You know what I mean? Because I would Google, like, what is the best time to post to YouTube? What is the best day to post to booktube? And so I really started trying to crack this code. Here's the thing, is that YouTube is hard. Everyone has always said that growth on YouTube is really slow. That it is so hard to get to 1,000 subscribers. And me, doing this for 2 years, have not hit 1,000 subscribers. It's a blow to the ego, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I know that it's hard, even though I have heard from countless people that it is so difficult to do, that it is so difficult to crack. But once you hit those 1,000 subscribers, you know, it gets easier, blah, 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 blah. I have seen so many of my favorite booktubers say like, I never thought this was gonna happen. I almost quit. I almost quit because it was just not happening for me. And then it happened, and now I'm doing this full time, and I'm doing, you know, blah, 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 whatever. And you hear that and you're like, okay, so there is still hope it happened for them. They had a hard time. It can happen for me. Like all of these things that you hear about other people's experience. And I feel like the problem is, like, I am self-aware enough to know that the issue is that one of the issues that I think is stunting my channel growth is that I do not have any other form of social media that I'm doing this on. I don't have a TikTok. I don't have a Bookstagram. And I'm doing this on purpose. I am doing that on purpose because I refuse, okay? Book talk terrifies me. Book talk scares me. It doesn't feel genuine to me. And the bottom line is that reading is my favorite thing to do. I love reading. I love talking about books. I manage a bookstore, and yet all I think about is I want to talk more about books. Like, I love it, but I also love reading. Like, reading is part of, like, saying it's a part of my identity is kind of weird, or saying that it's a character trait, but like, it is one of the things that I want to protect. And I know myself well enough to know that if I try to force something that isn't there, it's not going to be genuine and it's not going to feel real, and it might actually end up making me resent reading, which isn't what we're here for. It's not what we're trying to do. And so I don't want to do anything that is going to hinder that, which is part two, is that I don't really read everything else that people read on here. I don't do the challenges that other people do on here. I started out and I tried to do it. 24-hour challenges are ass. They suck. Don't do them. Don't feel pressured to do them. Or TBR carts. I'm choosing my own motherfucking TBR. I don't want, I'm not gonna read it. What's the point? And then I'm being fake because I'm filming a TBR video that I'm not gonna end up reading. I know I'm not gonna end up reading it, and you're gonna be able to tell. You're gonna be able to tell that it's not genuine content. To say there are a few things that I think have stunted my growth, but I've purposefully done that because I don't want to risk my passion. I don't want to risk what I love doing. And whether or not this channel works out or is successful, you know, in a numbers way, I will always be a reader. That's always going to be my thing. So I don't want to possibly ruin that for myself. I hope I'm making sense. Here's the bottom line, and here's the issue, okay, is I can't figure out this SEO thing. I cannot, for the life of me. I have done so much research. I have done hours of research and hours of all of this extra stuff of me doing and trying to figure out when to upload. What should your thumbnail look like? What should your title be? What should your description box have? What should? And it doesn't make any difference. Like, to be honest, I have not found that it makes a difference. But the fact of the matter is that if you are having fun doing what you're doing, it should not matter how many people see it. And that's what made me decide not to quit, is that I love filming. I love editing. I love it when, and I don't want me saying like, oh, no one's seeing my stuff. I do have people who, like, my little teeny tiny group of people on here who follow me on Goodreads, who like actively follow me on Goodreads and like interact with me on there, and that comment on my videos and like my videos. I cannot begin to explain to you how much it means to me when you do that. So if you are a commenter of people's content, just know you are an earth angel. You are so kind, and it makes me so happy, and it makes me feel like, okay, it doesn't matter that thousands and thousands of people aren't seeing my stuff. This person saw my stuff and they liked it. And so it truly doesn't matter how many like followers you have, how many subscribers, how much engagement you're getting if you like what you're doing. But it is a shitty feeling it is such a bad feeling to put all of this time and effort into something and you think to yourself like, okay, I'm proud of this. And that's the thing with my last few videos, like these fantasy reading vlogs that I've been doing, these other reading vlogs I've been doing, I have been so proud of those videos. I can really see how I've grown in my editing style and all of that stuff, and I'm having fun, and it does feel bad when it doesn't work. Like, it just does. That's the nature of the game. That's the nature of the situation, is that it feels bad. And like, I'm not gonna lie, there are times where I have really doubted myself. I have been like, am I embarrassing myself by being on here? And am I not pretty enough? Am I not funny enough? Am I not engaging enough? Like, what is it that is not getting people to click on the video? Or how am I still not able to figure out this algorithm after this long of this many different things that I've tried? How am I still not figuring this out? Is God blocking my path? Like, honestly, it is about like that sometimes. And I really just was over feeling like that. I was over the constant disappointment of it not working. And that's just what it was. That's what made me be like, think I'm good. And also, there was an element to around 2 months ago, around this time, I haven't been the best mentally. I will not cry. I refuse to cry. But basically just know I'm going through it. I've always kind of had anxiety a little bit, but this is like at a whole new level. Like, I don't recognize my brain. And so I am starting to go to therapy. Okay, I am starting to go to therapy. Work has been really hard. If you don't know, I'm the general manager at an independent bookstore, and we are adding on a bar, and it has not been good for any of us. It's been very, very stressful. And so there was an element of, I cannot handle one more thing. You know what I mean? Like, I need to keep my head above water. And YouTube was something that I had to let go of. And I knew I was letting go of it for a second until things evened out. But like about a month in, I was like, you know what? I'm actually okay. I think I'm good. I've laid this to rest. I told myself I was gonna give myself 2 years to see if this would get off the ground, and it hasn't. It is not this time anymore. Like, let's move on. But guys, I read the Farseer trilogy. I read Robin Hobb, and I didn't have anyone to talk to about it. I primarily read literary fiction, which one of my, I would consider her a good friend at this point. One of the other managers at the bookstore, we overlap a lot with our readings, so I'm able to talk to her about that a lot, but I do not know anyone else in my real life except for one of my friends. Her name is Caitlin, and we'll like text sometimes on Instagram and on Goodreads and stuff, but I don't have anyone in my actual vicinity of life that reads high fantasy the way that I do. And I didn't have anyone to talk to about it. And I read Assassin's Quest, and I was just like, I really want to film a YouTube video about this. And that was really when I was like, okay, I'm still gonna do this. That was really, I'm not even joking, that is really what made me realize I really do still want to do this, even if I never hit 1,000 subscribers, literally ever. And I know it's one of those things where the right people will find your content, and I think I want to be hopeful and think that I'm still just waiting on my audience to find me, because I would rather have the right people following me for actually liking me and liking my content and liking what I'm doing, rather than a ton of people who are gonna like be mean to me in the comments. So I think that I'm deciding to be hopeful that my audience has just not found me yet, and that time may come and it may not. But as long as this makes me happy and as long as I'm having fun and liking what I'm doing, then I'm gonna keep doing it. And especially with December, I love end of the year reading videos. I love them so much. And I have a lot of ideas of stuff that I wanna do. And so I'm not giving up yet. Could I be absolutely embarrassing myself on the internet? Maybe. But also I don't really care. It's not really so much about that as much of it is like, sometimes I feel like I'm talking into a void, I guess is the best way to say it. I think there are other people in my position on here. Growth on YouTube is really hard. It's really hard. That's like the number one thing that everyone says is it is hard. So I don't know. I just feel like I wanted to kind of make someone maybe feel less alone. If they are watching this and they're also having similar feelings, or they have been where I've been, or maybe they're just starting, I don't know. Like, and they're like, why is my first video not, you know, getting thousands of people to see it? It's just how it is. But I do think that, I think I would just like really encourage people to do what makes you happy and not what you think you want to do because you think you're going to be famous. And I think that that's the difference, is that if you make it on YouTube, if you make it on Instagram, if you make it on TikTok, you can make a shit ton of money. And if you're just in it for the money, it's not going to work. It might work for a little bit, but in the long run, it's not going to work, especially if you're pretending that your hobby is reading when you don't actually like reading. To kind of help you get to the conclusion that I came to, which even one person liking your video is a success. And if you, like, so right now, at the time of me filming this, I almost have 670 followers, I think almost. If you were to put 670 people into a room, if you were to put 10 people into a room, if you were to put 5 people, like, it really is a lot more than you think it is. And I would just encourage you to think like that. If you only have 100 subscribers, if you only have 50, like 50 people is a lot of people. If you had 50 people all in your house, you would be like, I'm overwhelmed, there's too many people in here. I mean, really, truly. And I would just continue to encourage you to make the videos that you want to make. Do the content that you want to do, not what you think is going to be popular, not what you think is going to get you viral, and just enjoy it. Because that's what I've decided I'm going to do. Is just enjoy my time here on the internet and talk about what I want to talk about and read the books that I want to read and talk about them. So I don't know that this video literally did anything except for me wax poetic about all of this, but I hope it helped even one person. Again, that is like literally the whole point, is that if even one person sees this and feels like, oh, it's not just me. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go read and plan out how I want to go about this Farseer trilogy video, because I filmed it when I thought I was gonna quit, so I don't really have a lot of footage, so I gotta kind of get creative. I really hope that this made sense. I hope that I don't sound stupid, but you know, it is what it is, and we are where we are, and this is how I feel. So yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching and giving me your time. It really means a lot to me. So have a good day.